more than 50% of the receiving yards from last year gone. They're having to replace more than any offense. Darnold floats one. Smith-Njigba's loose. Jackson Smith-Njigba gets behind the rookie Upton Stout for 22.
Looking out of the inside, in the slot, it's just a little wheel route. Look, he sells like he's going to the flat and then turns it up the sideline. The anticipation and the touch. We talked Brock Purdy did it on his opening drive, throwing guys open. Putting the air on the ball there by Sam Darnold's what's allowed against some of these soft 2-minute type shell defenses.
And now throw over the middle, Smith-Njigba.
Now they can go fast. They'll take a timeout. You see McDonald, he raced down the sideline. So the most important element of a 2-minute drive is the drive starter. So they tried it with the handoff. That put him in second and reasonable. But look how deep these safeties are. There's so much space in the middle of the field.
With a minute 13, 2nd and 10. Darnold, one-on-one, Smith-Njigba! They went back to Smith-Njigba, and he beat Green. 41 yards to the 14.
So Clint Kubiak, he looked across on that last possession of the 49ers and saw the Ricky Pearsall double move, and he said, all right, I've got one of those double moves in my back pocket too, and the go-to guy all day has been Smith-Njigba. Watch, he sells the out, up, and just...
Off play action now. Darnold floats it, open man, it's a touchdown! And Seattle jumps out in front on the first NFL catch for Torrey Horton. The rookie has a score.
Well, Horton's just going to take this all the way across the field. This is what happens when you establish the run. This is a play action, and Horton's just going to run across the field, use Smith-Njigba. Ooh, Sam Darnold gets a little kiss on the chin there from the Steelers defense, but still delivers an excellent ball.
Trying to protect Darnold here. Over the middle, it's a touchdown. A.J. Barner. And Seattle's right back in it. An extra point will tie it.
Most importantly is the eyes of Sam Darnold. He's got to hold Patrick Queen right in the middle. So you see his eyes are right down the midline, and then he gets to his target. Doesn't even pitch on that.
Two teams that got 10 wins last year. Seattle missed the playoffs. Pittsburgh made it. 3rd down and 1 for Darnold. Over the middle, and it's caught by Kupp for a first down to the 40-yard line. And the Seattle offense stays on the field to start the frame.
I'll tell you what, I didn't expect this on 3rd and 1. I thought maybe some big personnel. Big number 40, Oots, getting in there.
Trying to get set. They get the snap. Pressure coming. Patrick Queen. Darnold spins away and flips it ahead. And it's a first down for A.J. Barner. Oh, Sam Darnold with a little bit of maneuvering to get away from the speedy Patrick Queen.
Well, watch the immediate pressure inside from Patrick Queen. And there goes Sam Darnold. Underrated athleticism. He made plays like this all year last year in Minnesota. And then having the ability and the wherewithal on the edge to find an easy completion. That's a backbreaker for a defense.
Seattle avoids disaster on 3rd down. Now play action. Shot downfield. Smith-Njigba's got it against Ramsey. Down to the 10-yard line. And a beautiful touch throw by Darnold to find his top target.
Well, look at the speed on the edge for Njigba. He fought through the contact.
2nd down and 10. Pressure coming. Darnold in trouble and still on his feet. Now moving, and he's got a man. Smith-Njigba at the 30. And Smith-Njigba shoved out by Alontae Taylor. Wow, the Saints had Darnold. Brian Brzee could not get him down, and it goes for 29 yards.
Jason, this is a great example by number 11, Jackson Smith-Njigba, seeing that his quarterback is in trouble and then going into their scramble.
Torrey Horton goes in motion on 1st down and 10. A play fake. Darnold on the move. Darnold throws, and he's got a man. Touchdown! Jackson Smith-Njigba. His first touchdown of the season.
This offense and what it's able to do, and this is old school Gary Kubiak going boot to your left side right there for Sam Darnold and able to get his shoulders around and hit Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Darnold to the air, and he fires to a wide open man. It's caught. That's the tight end, A.J. Barner. 23-yard gain.
And guys, the protection was so good. Sam Darnold could wait an extra half count to let Barner clear. So
Seattle inside the red zone. Darnold back to the air, throwing end zone for Horton. Touchdown! Torrey Horton, a punt return score, and now through the air, and Seattle adds to its lead.
Charles, they all started in as tight splits there and break out from there, and a good pitch and catch.
we had a great conversation with Cooper Kupp about that exact formation and system on Friday, and then they demonstrated it. Type when they were playing and coaching the Saints.
Darnold deep on first down. Smith and Jigba reels it in. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
How about this pass protection for Sam Darnold? Look at it. Able to wait, bounce, and then there's the penalty by Godchaux, dropping him real late in it. But Smith and Jigba just runs past Kool-Aid McKinstry, number 4, and underneath him was Justin Reed, number 21, and that pass, again, dropped in the bucket. Sam Darnold. This is what Seattle's going to want to do in the second half, grind away.
And they gave him 10 for a first down, and here's number 10, Cooper Kupp to the 32-yard line. Pete Werner on the tackle after a gain of 23.
This is Cooper Kupp getting involved in the game, and that's the...
Sam Darnold getting that one out in a hurry to give Kupp a chance.
From the 16, good protection, man open, caught, touchdown. A.J. Barner, the tight end.
That's a great look at it right here. 88 against 27, little hesitation, and then down and up. And look at the placement of that football. All 13 snaps so far with 2 tight ends. Get the matchup down in this red area that they want, the big talented tight end.
2nd and 10, he's already had 2 receiving touchdowns this season and a 95-yard punt return. Darnold over the middle after he looked right, goes to his 3rd option, and Jake Bobo makes his first catch of the night at the 32-yard line.
Watch his feet and rhythm. This is what we saw from Sam Darnold last year working with KO. Left, it's not there, and instead of being late, he's decisive because he has answers. There's the eyes to the left, nope, come back, look at his feet in rhythm, puts it on him, and a nice first down.
Yeah, he had both Carolina, San Francisco, and Minnesota. Now Seattle, dancing in the pocket, buying time, keeps his eyes downfield. Deep throw is going to be hauled in. Downfield, all the way downfield. Elijah Arroyo, the rookie out of Miami, a gain of 32.
Now he got downfield against Josh Sweat, who normally is going to rush the quarterback, obviously. Here on his own pressure, he's out in the flat. Now he's just kind of dropping. And Sam Darnold, he had room to run, but he sees this matchup. There's no way Sweat's going to find the football.
Arroyo, 6'5", 2nd-round pick out of Miami. Look at that time for Darnold. Everybody's covered, though. Sam will take off. Darnold slides to a stop at the 32-yard line.
This is what he does, right? I mean, you get so caught up in what he did on the previous play because he's always usually going to make you pay with the arm. He sees man-to-man.
Darnold deep downfield and reaching back is Smith and Jigba. 36 yards.
What's better, the throw or the stutter and go? What a route by Jackson Smith and Jigba, able to run away from Max Melton. But heck of a job, right over the outside shoulder, right foot, left foot, out of bounds, and a first down where the Cardinals have some momentum. Crowds in the game, 3rd and 6. And Sam Darnold, look at the eyes, focusing on that safety, saw him bite down, knew that he had a one-on-one to the outside to his best receiver.
Darnold to the sideline, caught, and getting out of bounds Smith and Jigba, but they say no.
It'll be a 30-second timeout. It's a battle of former Ohio State wide receivers trying to make big plays to win the game. Jackson Smith and Jigba, much like his former teammate, back shoulder fade. Good ball again, good timing by Sam Darnold. Look where he puts this, and another DB that struggles to find the football.
They're going to review this play to see if he was inbounds or out of bounds. If they rule him out of bounds.
Clint Kubiak came over as offensive coordinator, thought he fit really well with this system and this team.
1st and 10. Abraham Lucas, the block at the right tackle, and it's caught into Buccaneer territory. What a grab by Cooper Kupp. He picks up 24. The former Ram, now Seahawk, to the 47 of the Bucs. 1st down, Seattle.
Well, incredible catch by Cooper Kupp.
And Smith and Jigba on the move, and Charbonnet will remain with a line drive. Caught, touchdown! Working on Vildor. Jackson Smith and Jigba. 2nd touchdown reception of the season. And a 6-yard laser thrown by quarterback Sam Darnold.
And Darnold's picking up right where he left off coming into this game.
Fake to Walker. Chased over there by Diab, and there's a flag down. What a catch made by Young! Holy smokes!
Watch how Young going up the field here on the corner route. The ball gets hit, so it's come back. So it's almost just like a punt up in the air. And then it gets this shoulder into the defensive back there. That's able to give him a little bit of leverage, but how he's able to come up with that catch.
Only his 2nd catch of the season. From last season, if you can believe that, to this. 2nd down 2. Fake to Walker. Look at the time. Going deep, and he's got him. Smith and Jigba. What a catch. Beating Winfield. Oh, what a beauty. 52 yards.
Watch Smith and Jigba. He works, it looks like, and as soon as the safety turns his hip, as soon as Winfield turns his hips to the inside, then Smith and Jigba takes it to the outside, and that's when Darnold lets it fly. And then it's a matter of can he locate the ball. Winfield never is able to get his head around to locate it. He's in position.
3rd down and goal. Flag thrown, end zone caught, back touchdown. Flag thrown, A.J. Barner's got it. Had one last week, has one today. Let's see what that flag is all about.
This is just a roll to the right. You've got a flat, then you've got a guy behind the line of scrimmage as your 2nd read, but then Barner is coming from the backside. He's just working that back line, trying to find a window in the zone.
Clint Kubiak said that was the first call I made when I got this job. 1st and goal, caught at the 3. Touchdown, Barner sheds Levante David.
Just a little out route, easy one-on-one, but a missed tackle, an extra punt.
Down in 2, Kupp on the move, Charbonnet in the backfield. Darnold, here comes Diaby, and downfield, caught, touchdown, Torrey Horton.
Watch as this pocket collapses. First he's going to get pressure from the backside. He steps up to avoid that, but I don't know how he gets out of the clutches to slide over to his left.
Reddick was there.
Darnold straight drop, floating one, and toward the sideline at the 45. Jackson Smith and Jigba, and yes, he kept his feet in, ruled a catch.
Well, you get this much cushion, right? I mean, that's called an access throw. So we're going to just drive the corner off and then sit down.
Hoping to cross midfield for the first time, trailing 6-0. Fake to Charbonnet, stepping up is Darnold, and Sam floats one open is Smith and Jigba, and he will glide to about the 21-yard line of Jacksonville.
So they're coming over, and what they're doing is they're getting this backside here to hang off that 2 tight end look. So as Smith and Jigba comes over, there's nobody underneath. You see Gardeck chasing late, but he was there. He got sucked up into that play action, and there's Smith and Jigba. He is so good right now, and I'm telling you.
So Walker's available there, Trayvon Walker, but just hasn't been very active as Darnold sets to throw. And floating one down the middle. And Smith-Njigba has it. Touchdown Seahawks. "61 yards for 6. Working against Greg Newsome, who was in the game, the newest Jag. Darnold again. There's Cooper Kupp. His first catch of the game and still going. Inside the 20 of the Jags.
Just running down the seam. Here he is, just going to get down that seam. Cooper Kupp is one of those guys, so smart and so just a friendly target, understands coverage, understands where the holes are in zones, and just becomes a big-time target for the quarterback, Sam Darnold. Just when we mentioned, hey, man, they haven't gotten involved yet, there he is, Cooper Kupp.
Darnold for the end zone. Catch made. Cooper Kupp has his first touchdown this season. An impressive drive to open the second half by the Seahawks.
Well, he's got leverage, right? And he's going to go here, and he's just going to work himself over to here, inside leverage.
Punt of 45 yards, just beyond the 26-yard line. Darnold set to throw, and wide open at the 40 of Jacksonville. A.J. Barner. Can they bring him down eventually? Yes, inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and you're going to get the safety. When you get this run look coming that way, you get that opportunity. Safety, that's Wingard who gets caught in with his eyes in the backfield looking for the run, and there goes A.J. Barner right beyond the safety, and big-time play for the Seahawks right there.
A 61-yard pickup, his third catch of the day. The other two were simple tosses quietly, but came in here with 4 touchdown catches, we mentioned. Tied for the NFL lead from tight ends reaching the end zone with Dallas Goedert.
Well, it's one of the things that happens to you when you run the ball on first down. You get those heavy formations. You got those safeties.
Third offensive coordinator in 3 years. This Clint Kubiak very familiar with Darnold, who looks to take a downfield shot. And wide open. Catch made and run out of bounds is Arroyo, that rookie tight end from Miami, who is a downfield threat big time.
And Dan talks about the fact that when you put the quarterback under center, just watch what it does here to Derek Stingley Jr. Watch the second-level defenders. You see how they kind of skate along the line of scrimmage, not sure if it's run or pass. And that's because quarterback's under center. He turns his back to you. You see the eyes in the backfield. That's all it takes, and that's how dangerous it is.
He's engaged now. About a house in Seattle. Downright domestic and very happy with the way things are going. Play fake and fires downfield. That's Cooper Kupp in stride. You can hear the serenades of Coop as the veteran. Speaking of finding a home in Seattle, back in his home state. Off to a good start. This Houston make a play, force a field goal attempt. They had a chance there. Now they have to recover from the penalty. You go down 2 scores. The way the offense is playing in this environment could be trouble. And right for the end zone and scoring and dunking is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Flags down afterward for the celebration, but Darnold strikes to JSN.
This is just elite. You're going to watch Cooper Kupp go on an inside post. Petrie's going to follow. Look at Sam Darnold. Freeze it at the top. I mean, he's going to have chaos right there. Look at, he is getting destroyed, and just a trust throw to JSN. Look how JSN uses his
defenses. Neither side has converted a third down yet. Both are 0 for 4. Darnold delivers a throw to the sidelines, and there is the first third down conversion. Jackson Smith-Njigba found some room there, picked up 19.
This is really good. Look how quickly they break the huddle, sprint to the line of scrimmage, and how fast this ball gets snapped. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. Center puts his hands on the ball, and that gets snapped quickly. You're trying to beat any type of pass rush or pressure.
It's been hard to stop tonight. It's the deep back. They fake it to him. Darnold looking to throw across the middle and drops a dime to Smith-Njigba in stride. What a throw to convert on 4th down.
I had a hard time believing they were going to run the football there, especially when Sam came out in the gun.
Lou, how about this route, man? Look at this young man off the line of scrimmage. Look at that stab inside, gets Lassiter to release inside, and just, I mean, that's wide open.
Defense right back out there. Darnold dropped it to Smith and Jigba. What a throw. No. What a play. They're consulting. Yeah, it's going to count.
That's as good of a throw as you can possibly make. Because Kamari Lassiter, I've watched it from the very beginning.
Drive that has taken half the quarter. And Darnold roll, throw it, end zone, touchdown, Torrey Horton. Flag on the play, in the end zone. Let's see which way. It'll be on Washington and a Seahawk touchdown.
Pass interference, defense number 23. Penalties declined, results in play, touchdown.
And the Seahawks pay off a long drive with a TD for the rookie.
Torrey Horton, what a drive for him. Come right out, and Cooper Kupp, but this is a very Cooper Kupp-like route on the outside.
Washington rushing 5. Darnold taking a shot downfield. Open again is Horton for a touchdown. The rookie has 2 in the first 2 quarters.
Wow, number 2 is now a trend. Torrey Horton, what a release at the line of scrimmage he had against Mike Sainristil. Watch this. This is game, set, and match.
Seattle right back at it. Darnold 9 of 9 on the night. Takes another shot. And it's caught by Arroyo for the touchdown. Elijah Arroyo with his first NFL touchdown.
They are forcing teams into playing pure bump and run, man-to-man coverage because they can't stop the run. You can't stop the run, you get the quick releases, and you get the touchdowns. You think that one was good. This was his second choice. JSN was wider opener on the other side. Anybody could have thrown that one. He really has so much confidence going in his game right now.
Play action here on first down, 13 of 13, and to the races. It's White, all the way, Cody White for the touchdown. The first of his NFL career with a 60-yard score.
Play fake, corner reacts up, and you go for a touchdown. That's all it is. Under center, they can't stop the run, so they all start jumping into the run game, and then you get behind them, and you can see Trey Amos looks like he was hurt on that play as well. It's just been so much fun to watch. This is the way offense is supposed to be played. The run game.
Against Pete Carroll's team. 2nd and 3. Darnold throwing sideline. Smith and Jigba's got it.
Feeling, here he is in the backfield again, and this little loop route here to the outside, and Darnold never looked anywhere else. He sees the man-to-man, I'm going to my man. There you go, right in the bread basket, and what a smoking start to this game by Sam Darnold.
Okay, he might be down inbounds there. Terry McCauley, bring our rules analyst in. What does that mean?
He is down in bounds. They'll reverse that. That means it goes to a running clock, so Seattle can use their last timeout.
Walker the back, opening drive, 1st and 10. They began back at the 35. The fake to Walker, who offers a block. And then going deep and looking inside the caught! Smith and Jigba with the grab. What a catch! 43-yard touchdown strike. Working on Thompson.
Just got through talking about play action pass. Timed up perfectly with this call. Getting one-on-one on the outside. Because of the pressure that was brought by Arizona, that leaves them in man coverage. Able to take advantage of it as Smith and Jigba.
It's 2nd down and 7 for Sam Darnold. With play action on the fake to Walker and chased on the play by Sweat, and downfield it goes. And it's grabbed right there by Smith and Jigba. 16-yard first down reception. He's near the 49 of Seattle in a first down. And he's over 1,000 yards on the season.
Well, I just love how they move Darnold around. It's quick throws. It's
you draft a young offensive lineman like Zabel, because he's about as good as a young lineman we've seen in years.
Here's the fade, looking downfield for Smith-Njigba, who plucked it with one hand. JSN.
Right on cue. There's the first deep ball connection of the game against Darius Williams outside. And
I mean, he's on this Seahawks team. Not a lot of stats this year, but really a great asset that they've brought in.
Darnold with time going up top for Jackson Smith-Njigba. Drops it in the bucket, and he will backpedal for a touchdown. What a throw. What a catch. 6 on the board from 63 out.
This is what this offense does. And he gets on top of Amani Hooker so quickly. So you've got JSN going up against the safety. That's what you want. You're done. You're in trouble right there. He's on top of you, and a really good.
And clean up some of our pre-snap issues.
Yeah, 0 for 2 in the red zone. Now 1 for 6 the last game and a half for Seattle. Darnold on first down. Flushed, finds Smith-Njigba. Another big play. Jackson Smith-Njigba still on his feet and finally out of bounds at the 20-yard line of Tennessee. First down.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the one guy you can't let do this, and I know that at some point there's going to be defensive calls, and you want to be able to play a little bit man-to-man, but you've got to be very, very careful based on where you are pre-snap and how you're going to have your coverage set, and now getting back to some of those explosive pass plays.
On 2nd and 4, play action. Darnold to the end zone. Smith-Njigba with his second touchdown of the day. 13 yards, and Seattle storms down the field to grab 6 out of the locker room.
Yeah, just watch the route. So he's going to win inside. Then he's going to bend outside to give him some space from the safety before he comes back. And just really well.
Darnold, pressure comes, able to get free. Darnold now will tuck it and run, and Sam Darnold out near midfield. Good scramble by Darnold.
Yeah, what a great job. Watch Zach Charbonnet right here. Watch how Sam Darnold uses him with Caden Ellis on the outside right here. It's like, all right, which one you going to go for? I got him on the outside if I want to throw it to him. Hesitates enough, gets enough space there to be able to split those two defenders for a nice run.
Well, we heard Allison talk about the strategy from Atlanta's secondary. On 1st and 10, clean pocket for Darnold, zips it over the middle. There's Shaheed down at the 35-yard line. Could or not? Nope, let's just take the timeout.
So there's Jackson Smith-Njigba. There's A.J. Terrell on him. He's playing outside coverage because he's got Jesse Bates over the top. So you've got a 2-on-1 over there. Well, what do you got to do? We got to get to number 2 in progression. If you're going to play it that way, there's going to be somebody else that's going to be open, and that's why earlier in the game we talked about not trying to force the ball to JS.
Off the play fake. Darnold with time. Open. Jackson Smith-Njigba. They find him for a big gain out of bounds near the 26-yard line of Atlanta in this second half. 2nd and 11. Darnold over the middle. Jackson Smith-Njigba on the run. Breaks a tackle. He'll take it all the way in for a Seattle touchdown.
Press outside, back up. There's the little stumble you talked about. Xavier Watts, 31, terrible angle. Terrible angle coming down from the safety spot. You've got to know that 11 is coming across the field and run to where he's going to be, not where he was. I don't know if he got caught with Cooper Kupp coming across in the other direction, and they only gained 3.9 yards, so they're committed to the run game.
3rd and 6. Darnold will step up, floats it to Shaheed, who's all alone. Nice move at the 25 and out of bounds. Jesse Bates chasing him out on the far sideline. A pickup of 33 on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you just lose him. You got Cooper Kupp there. I don't know if that's where all the eyes went, but you can see right there as he crosses the field. Mike Hughes, the turnover bug is the one thing that they got to get fixed. That will be exposed. That will be maximized in the playoffs.
Darnold to Cooper Kupp to the end zone, and a touchdown for Cooper Kupp, his 2nd of the year. The ingredients for a deep run in the playoffs. How about an answer drive? Seattle providing another one here, up 29-9.
Great job. They're going to go in motion, but watch what Jackson Smith and Jigba does. He's the one. He gets.
Darnold on third down. Pressure comes to the end zone. It's Jackson Smith and Jigba for the second time today with a touchdown.
This may be a play for all Seahawk fans to go, okay, our offense is back. Watch Sam Darnold on this. Drops back.
Seahawks-Rams coming up here on Thursday night in Seattle. Darnold to the air on first down. And looking deep down the field, he's got Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed with a big play for Seattle. A gain of 28, and that's the longest play of the day by either team.
And we saw this play earlier. The last time he hit Jackson Smith and Jigba in the middle of the field. Shaheed shows.
Third down and 3. Darnold over the middle. He's got Smith and Jigba. Smith and Jigba inside the 20 and out of bounds. They needed a big play, and they go to their star wide receiver for 28 yards.
And right in the middle of the field against this zone defense, he's able to hit Smith and Jigba running from the slot right there. And those are the challenges for this Colts defense.
Rivers watching as Darnold operates the Seattle offense. Play action. Darnold steps up, throws on the run, and he's got a man. Smith in Jigba breaks free. Smith and Jigba down the sideline and pushed out of bounds by Bynum. The Colts could not get Smith and Jigba to the ground, and he makes them pay for 39 yards.
And really good job of going play action. What they're going to do here, Shaheed's going to come all the way out here. Then Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to come in and get back to the sideline. And an excellent job by
Darnold has time, fires, and it's caught by Shaheed. In Colts territory at the 47. They cannot stop the clock.
A lot of times when you're guarding, a nice job by the offensive line, giving Darnold plenty of time to dance and go through his progressions.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's incredible. And he was the next Johnny Unitas for 3 years. That pass is caught. Smith and Jigba is taken down at the 38-yard line by Darius Williams.
And we talk about what's made him so effective this year, leading the NFL in
Kupp sprints in motion. Darnold throws, and it will be in there for the 2 points. Kupp.
Because I think that allows him to be aligned with JSN and kind of uses him almost as just like bounces off of him, uses him as a screen, and timed up perfectly against McCullough.
Play clock at 3. Rolling left. Throwing back the other way. He's got a man. Caught. Barner. Touchdown. 26 yards.
This route by Barner. Typically when you run this route, you work to the inside. He sets it up and then goes to the outside. See the safety there? That was Cam Kitchens. Completely fooled with that route.
They got a scrum in the middle of the field. These two teams obviously not thrilled with each other.
What an effort by Barner at 6'6" to climb the ladder and come up with that catch. Unable to hit the two-pointer, but with 6:23 to go, and the way their defense, 2 straight 3-and-outs, it's going to be an interesting finish here.
From the 39-yard line. Play action. Scramble. Throwing along the sideline. Smith and Jigba, did he make it inbounds? The officials look at each other, and he does. First down, 44-yard line.
Yeah, 2 things here. Great job. There was pressure again from Kobe Turner. Darnold gets away from it, and this is Jackson Smith and Jigba. Great footwork, great awareness. Kind of
low snap. Darnold hangs in. Darnold under pressure. Throws along the sideline. No. Yes, it's called a catch. Cooper Kupp making the grab.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Great throw. Watch the right foot just toe tap. Gets the left one down. The right.
Darnold, play fake. Looks. Throws. Caught. Smith-Njigba. Now comes the drama.
Here's the touchdown, Al. What a job by Darnold with a nice play fake and a good job of separating by JSN. No receptions in the first half, all 96 yards and a touchdown in the second half.
Varner in motion. Darnold throws, caught for the 2 points. Eric Saubert. They throw to a guy who hadn't made a catch or was targeted all night long. What a game.
The tight end leaks. Look how close Kobe Turner came to knocking that ball down. But I'll tell you, Saubert deserves a lot of credit for being patient before he delays and comes out. Just wait. Got completely lost by coverage. Did a nice job of looking it off, looking towards that 3 receiver side, and almost like a check down. Came back to the backside, found the answer to hit that 2-point conversion, and good for him.
Calf injury on IR until last week. Signs a 1-year extension the other day. He's already paid the biggest dividend. Don't call his name all night long. There he is, 38-37. Can hoist up a lot of guys tonight.
And he knows how close he came to knocking that ball, getting his hand on it. 2 of the best right there.
No question.
Darnold is 5 of 10 for 36 yards. Couldn't handle the snap initially, and then Darnold had it knocked down, and the ball pops free again.
What's going on?
Loose football as both teams are rolling towards it. Will all of this stand?
It's hard to tell in full speed like that if the arm was coming forward before the ball was released, but Sam Darnold sure is playing like that ball was fumbled, not a forward pass.
It felt incomplete, at least from this angle.
It did, but I will say his reaction certainly gives you pause on that. I think a slow motion shot of it. Here we go. It's almost like they read my mind. That is as tight as it gets in terms of is the hand coming forward or not.
It was Nick Scorton, the rookie out of Texas A&M, who was there to meet Darnold.
Keeping on the ground and finding success.
Go with a traditional fullback running back look, and Darnold's going to throw it. Hits his open man. It's Barner cutting it for the touchdown. The Seattle offense has come alive, but it's the defense that has set them up. Seahawks add to their lead.
Barner's wide open in the flat, and then he gets a little block from Cooper Kupp to escort him into the end zone.
Line it up at the 30. Single setback Walker. Fake the handoff. Bootleg for Darnold. Looking downfield. Darnold. Perfectly placed. Smith-Njigba. Another first down, and that was a fastball from Darnold for 17 yards.
This is JSN on J.C. Horn. They start on the left side of the field, come all.
49ers were last in the league in sacks, so they got to get creative like that. Now Darnold backed up, throws one deep, has a man, and it's Cooper Kupp right at the sticks. He gets it right back with a beautiful throw.
Wow, absolutely perfect. There's a high-low concept on the corner. You're just looking at Renardo Green. Again, you send someone to the flat. It's JSN and that Kupp behind it. And Green just gets...
Second and goal. Fake. Darnold looking, firing, end zone. It is caught! Touchdown! Jackson Smith-Njigba!
Wow. It's going to be a story of today.
3rd and 5. Darnold back, going to float one deep, has a man, Shaheed! He's got it! Foot race, and he's tripped up. A bomb to Rashid Shaheed, and that's a heck of a start.
Traded for him mid-season. This is what he does. this vertical element. He's open by 4 yards, and Darnold isn't going to miss that one early. Williams, a step late on the release. Shaheed blows by him. If you're Williams, you got to know who you're covering at that point. That's what he does well.
Pressure. Darnold launching deep. Going down there. It's caught! And hanging on is Smith-Njigba.
Yeah, all about the route. Gets the safety turned around. Cam Curl, he just nods to the outside. Then Curl kind of goes to the pylon. That's the indicator that Darnold needs, just to lay the ball up in the air. And then JSN goes out there. Got a good clean hit there by Cam Curl. You see it right here. JSN, that nod to the outside, and then back to the post. Just takes a little bit of time when he runs his route. It's really hard for any defensive back to get a beat on what he's doing.
Darnold looking at him again. Some pressure, though. Hit as he throws. Man open. Guess who? Smith-Njigba. Touchdown, Seattle.
They get enough time in pass protection. Smith-Njigba in the backfield. They get enough time for him to kind of stand in the pocket, wait for that to develop. He comes out. Cooper Kupp takes the underneath part of the coverage.
Darnold to throw. Back, hit, throws, end zone, caught! Touchdown! Jake Bobo! It's his 4th catch of the year.
He's made the most of his opportunity. Hasn't been perfect this year by any stretch, but they love that he's a real football player. He gets in there and relates to his offensive line. He's done a great job.
3rd down here over the middle. Cooper Kupp, it's in! Touchdown, Seahawks!
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Yeah, a little check and checkmate.
Darnold, some time. Room to run if he wants it, and he's going to take it. Gets a block. Darnold's got a 1st down and more.
Offense into the perfect play. Use the motion. Goes to Cam to play. Gets in the gun. And now he's going to change it. Now when he changes it, the defense can communicate, so they get to more of a conservative call. Their cover 2 version. And now Sam's got to make a play with his feet. So that's the ability when we talk about communication.
Seattle gets into tempo, jumps the ball, fakes to Shaheed. Darnold downfield for Kupp. Cooper got it as he inbounds. They say yes. The Super Bowl 56 MVP takes Seattle into the red zone.
One of the things you'll see with both of these teams is that they want to undercut.
George Galati's the running back. Fake to him. Darnold to the end zone. Barber's got a touchdown.
There's not much you can do about it, right? You've got to play the run game here because they're in such an advantageous position. You see the heat coming on the play, but eventually the dam had to break.